For today's session, let's know the purpose about the brand. So, this part, ground rules, this is what we will be covering today. We will be covering Simon Sinek, then your treks to Bull's Eye, then marketing with the cherry of purpose, 5 P's of marketing, a few case studies, and what's the end? I don't know. So, Simon Sinek, look up this guy on internet. He is great, and he looks good as well. So he was working in initial years of his career. He was working in advertising, big advertising agencies like Euro, RSG, CG, and Ogilvy. These are some MNCs of advertising. But then after some time, he pivoted. He he asked the most important question, and then after that, he has only been asking this one single question, and out of that he is able to collect millions of dollars from the greatest of the brands who are in the market and who are yet to come in the market. The question he has been asking is why. He took a break from his career. He shifted his focus on uh, the world of advertisements. He explored a bit, and then when he was deducing all of the nuances that go into advertising, he came up with this question. So look him up on internet. He gave a lot of great thoughts on advertising, one of which is what we are going to cover today. So we all engage in various activities, right? We engage in watching reels, we engage in chatting, we a lot of times when we just out of like unintentionally we go out for walks. We don't know, but it's just the thing that we do activities, we just walk, we don't know why, but we do not wonder on why do we do this, because we have so much of content that we don't sit by ourselves and think, why am I doing this, why is it happening to me? It's usually the reels that talk about it. And it is a profound uh, and very introspective question that one asks himself or herself. So here in advertising world, for instance, why does Apple produce iPhone? Why does Tata Steel manufacture steel? And why are you here for this workshop? Can be few questions to ask yourself. And understanding the underlying reasons for these actions, the challenges comes along with it, transforms your perspective. It evolves your imagination, your thought process, and hence help you in discovering the right answers, not only clarifying, but also it helps you set apart from the crowd, from the people who are in the same role. For example, this dancing cop from Indore. You might not be knowing about
No,
it.
sir.
Dolly Chaiwala,
Sir, suna hua hai.
the one who came with Bill Gates in that advertisement. He he asked, why am I doing it? I'm doing it to get money, maybe to get things, but we'll understand the why is not about the money. But when he started asking this why again and again, he got to a point like, this is my style. Everybody's selling tea, but how am I going to do it and why am I going to do it? When I understand that, it made it very easy for him. He may not have very materially sat on with this kind of material, with this kind of approach, and made his way through. But it's the principle that has been evolved. And now we writers use it because, as writers, you will interact with a lot of brands. And so you need to have a framework which will help you at times. There is no formula, I have shared you before as well, but a framework that can help you. So then we begin to track to the bullseye, aka golden circle. So every brand has a story, or at least it should have one. Otherwise, it's what is the brand? But then, how do we uncover what the story really is? We as the writer and we as the consumer. How do we do that? What does Coca Cola enables in our mind? Bringing people together. We see Apple evoking creativity, like you all shared in the last session as well. Cadbury celebrating the sweet moments. How did they all come up with this circle? This is the golden circle, and this is the trek that you need to end. So here, what, how, and why. This is the golden circle, where what is shown as what is the service of the company, what is the product of the company, is defined as the what of that organization, of that company, of that business. Then comes how. It's the method. How are they doing it? How are they making things happen? How are they having a competitive edge? Some organizations are aware about it, but this is the smallest circle and the hardest one to penetrate into. Only a very few organizations, very few companies know the why behind all of their business. And this is important because when you trek onto this bullseye, at this point, you have left behind the monetary evaluation of your idea. The monetary evaluation happens, evaluation happens at what are you going to do and what will be the evaluated or estimated revenue. How are you going to reach that revenue? But then when you are reaching to the why, it totally gets out of your monetary point. It's not about profit. It's more than that. It's about the purpose. This is the fundamental reason why a company should exist. So, for example, this is Apple's circle. What is the result, right? So, what does Apple do? Apple creates world's best computers. How is the process? How do they do it? Our products are designed with exceptional beauty and user friendliness. Why is the purpose? Why are they doing it? We are driven by a commitment to challenge the status quo and to think differently in everything we do. And this why is that magic sauce in your dish, is that magic corner in the story of the brand, in the life of the brand, in the connection of the brand and the target audience. Makes sense?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So then, marketing with cherry of purpose is marketing which is led with the purpose. And the purpose is the why. Now we'll get a little deep into this thing. You know, when you are attending the math session, math class, and you don't like math at all, it is very stressful for you. Just a minute, huh? It becomes stressful for you to attend the session. But then, if it's uh, which subject do you guys like?
Physics or chemistry? No, not chemistry, physics.
But if it is physics lesson, if it is physics class, you immediately find yourself energetic, excited, and looking forward to this thing.
Yes.
And that's what the purpose is all about. You know, you feel when you're reading physics, you feel connected. You feel you're passionate about it. And this passion fills you up with a fuel of fulfillment. When you're doing physics, you feel a connection. And that's what we want as a brand as well. When we Because we just understood in the last session, which was yesterday, that brand strategy is a very important point as a content writer, as a copywriter, in terms of your personal growth as well. If you tend to choose the copywriting or writing advertisements in future, this thing will help you, and brand position will go help you go to further levels of writing. So when we put efforts for something we don't believe in, it becomes very stressful for us. But when we work for something we are passionate about, we are immediately excited. We immediately feel like, you know, if we are doing something good, we have sense of fulfillment there. So what is the purpose of a compass?
सर डायरेक्शन ढूंढने के लिए.
Yeah, to show the way and the direction and lead you to the destiny you want to be at. That's what we love about compass, right? That's what even compass loves to do. And that is what is the purpose of a compass. Now, the primary goal of most marketing is to capture the attention. Try to connect the two things, okay? The purpose, when you know the purpose, you're now getting in transition into something even deeper to it. The primary goal of every marketing campaign, every marketing practice that we are doing is to capture the attention of the audience. It can be whether from your encouraging approach towards your audience to donate their organs, to donate the money, to click, make a purchase. You're encouraging them to take certain action. The objective here is to spark their interest and motivate them to act. So the value अभी आएगा आपको इसको सीन में समझ में. Primary goal of marketing becomes to get the attention. We got the attention, we understood in the first session. Now when our shoulders are right, when our shoulders are lifting the responsibility, weighing the responsibility very perfectly, we then have to have some emotion attached to it, some head attached to it, maybe if required, but legs needs to be there. So you need to spark their interest to make them certain actions. And brands need to stand out from all the other brands in the same category that they are in. To do this, they must they must connect with the people, either by being friendly, by building a community, or by showing they care for the community, for the people, or for the niche they're working in. This is where the why starts coming in. There are a lot of brands that are putting out ads in the same field, but how does your brand stand out amongst them? Is the great deal. And for that, you need to be self aware. Not as a writer, of course, as a writer, you need to be, but also as a person who is writing for the brand. So you need to be aware about the brand. In recent times, there was a new study in America that happened, which says 8 out of 10 Americans feel more connected to the brand when they share their values. So now it is not just about being entertaining on different platforms or putting out very educational or useful information that consumers prefer. But if a brand wants to stand out, if they want to take a take on something, they need to show they care about that thing, or that consumers find meaningful about. Either they need to show the value so that people feel, connected towards the value. Either the brand needs to show that they care about certain aspect of society, of their niche, of depending on their value about the market, or they need to find a meaningful way to connect with their consumers. This is important, and this is how things are evolving. So the foundation of what experts have begun to call purpose driven marketing is based on the last slide that we saw. The non-profit ad council defines it as a strategy used by an organization to center its external communication efforts around a social cause, which is then aligned to the core values of the brand. Is it heavy to digest? You want to take a minute? You want to ask something?
Clear.
Okay. So this is what is purpose driven marketing nowadays that we try to do. The purpose driven marketing aims to build a deeper bond with consumers. How do we do it? We connect with the users not just on a benefit level, but we go deeper. We understand the emotion. We try to connect with an emotion. But with what they value on the long run, there might be trends that happens. But when a brand knows the value, when a brand knows its core purpose, they they're starting to build a connection on an emotional level. Then it is important to know that some trends are okay to hop on, but on many days we will have to focus as writers and strategists on the long run aspect of trends, of emotions, of perceptions, and that is important. In simple terms, if what matters to me, my why, matches to what matters to you, your why, for example, here, I will buy from you and also advocate you as well. I will build advocacy for you. I'll promote you. I'll support you. This is what purpose driven marketing is about. These are four P's, which Jerome McCarthy introduced in his book in 1960. You can search it up, the book, you can have a read as well. This is a good book on marketing. The book has this title, Basic Marketing, a Managerial Approach. In this, he explained that when marketing a product, your strategies revolves around four P's: product, price, place, promotion. Product being what your service, what your product is, something physical, something digital. Price is how are you charging, how are you making your charge sheet for it, what is the sweet spot for your consumers, where are the major consumers coming from. Then third is the place, where are you promoting your product, where are you positioning yourself, and where are you taking your customers to with the uh, customer experience. This becomes the place. Fourth is promotion. How do your customers find about you? These are the four P's that, in a nutshell, marketing strategies are revolve, sorry. Product, price, place, promotion. Now you remember I said there are five P's that we are going to learn about in this session. Just a minute.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah. You want to ask something?
No, sir.
And this was a parting gift from pandemic. This is something which is not good. Who wants to listen about pandemic nowadays? It's the purpose. The thing we have been talking about throughout. The fifth P of marketing is purpose. Purpose driven marketing isn't about being all good and nice talks. Your purpose is not to sell the stuff only. It is about aiming for a bigger goal. It is about something which is more personal to the, like Apple's purpose is to help people challenge the status quo. Cult, amazing brand. Cult Fits is to make everyone healthy. Coke's purpose is to spread happiness. You get it? That's what is purpose marketing all about. Purpose and being mindful of what goes into the world are very closely knitted. You cannot build a brand with a strong purpose and then say something very offensive. I'll give you some examples of it. This and this went live. Like this legend went live. It will blow your mind. This is very bad ad. This actually went live. Very bad. Very cheap. This, my God, keep her where she belongs. This is again a very bad ad. This is what I was talking about. We need to be mindful about the purpose of the brand and then how the world goes. Now we know what not to do, so we should know what to do. For that, I have a few case studies for you. Let's watch this.
Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. About the only thing you can't do is ignore them, because they change things. They push the human race forward. While some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do.
Beautifully. Apple, the purpose of Apple, we just read it in a few slides back, is being different. They want to challenge the status quo by being different. And with that thought, they made this ad where everyone that they showed in the video had challenged the status quo, had challenged, they were different. And like they say in the script, that you can ignore them, you can make jokes around them, you can tease them, but you cannot ignore them. Why? Because they are different. They challenge things, they think differently, they challenge your status quo. That's how you align your brand's purpose and your message. Let's watch this uh, too.
Be and is hereby witnesseth that this contract dated as of the 15th day of October 1993 is hereby entered into between Calvin Moore, son of Kevin Moore, and Tyler Moore, son of Calvin Moore, resident of 219 Birch Court, hereinafter referred to as parties. The parties hereby covenant and agree as follows: that Calvin Moore henceforth shall be called the first party, shall give a gift every year on the day of the birth of the second party. The gift shall not exceed the value of $49. That such gift shall be null and void in case the second party does not follow the express instructions of the first party. The first party shall narrate one story every night to the second party. However, such story shall not be narrated more than 10 minutes every day. Furthermore, this requirement shall be null and void in the event that the first party is traveling for work. In witness thereof, the parties hereto have hereunto caused this agreement to be executed by their duly authorized representatives on the day and year first herein above mentioned. Signed by the first party and the second party.
We all know what this tech giant does at CL, right? You know about HCL or not?
I have heard some.
It's basically a IT company, no?
Yeah, yeah. It's a tech giant. They do a lot of different things. So in late 1900s or 2000s, the concept of contracts were taking toll on everybody. It was taking a good um, command over everything. Contracts were being made. HCL at that point of time came with this line, relationship beyond contracts. They came with this idea, like one of us crazy head who was the strategist or the writer came up with this idea for HCL, and they portrayed at a lot of times we might feel that we are doing this just because we have to do it. It is our responsibility, so we are doing it, and not because of the love. Like, we do chit chit, but we do Diwali ki safai. Why? Because we love our home, we love our mother, we love our father, we love the people who are in our house. And this goes beyond just the responsibility. That's what HCL banged on. And they said relationship beyond contracts. You should not feel that you are in a contract to celebrate the birthday, to go out, to send good morning messages, but it should come from within. This is, have you seen this? I usually don't write the name for it, but watch this ad, and if you know the tune, sing along with me.
Set fire to your hair, poke a stick at a grizzly bear, eat medicine that's out of date, use your private parts as piranha bait. Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Get your toast out with a fork, do your own electrical work, teach yourself how to fly, eat a 2-week-old unrefrigerated pie. Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Invite a psycho killer inside, scratch a drug dealer's brand new ride. Take your helmet off in outer space, use a clothes dryer as a hiding place. Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Keep a rattlesnake as a pet, sell both your kidneys on the internet. Eat a tube of super glue. I wonder what's this red button do? Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Dress up like a moose during hunting season, disturb a nest of wasps for no good reason. Stand on the edge of a train station platform, drive around the boom gates at a level crossing, run across the tracks between the platforms. They may not rhyme, but they're quite possibly dumbest ways to die. The dumbest ways to die. Dumbest ways to die. So many dumb ways to die.
Be safe around trains. A message from Metro.
Who would have thought this is a message from Metro?
Nobody.
This was such a great campaign that people took it to great levels. They started making their own dumb ways to diversions. They started making games around it. It created so much awareness around safety. Uh, in railways, it started with around railways, but then it spread to a different tangent altogether.
But basically, dumb ways to die wala thing. This should be short. Like the tagline is very short, right? But nobody would spend so much time just to watch this, and at the end, it's a message from the metro.
Yeah, it's because so also it time varies. If this thing sometime pops up in your feed before you watched it here, you must have given it a try. Like, okay, what is this? If the clip is coming, what is this? What is this? Dumb ways to die. The tagline is sure, be safe around trains. But the idea what we are talking about is two things getting closely knit, which is the purpose and what goes around in the world. So the world was going around these things which they were being careless. And the metro, the Melbourne metro, took out a stand and they said, let's point out. And our message is very clear. We want to spread awareness. And we want to say that these are dumb ways to die. I like the eating super glue wala part. Imagine somebody tasting Fevikwik. But that answers your question, Pari.
Yes.
Perfect. I might have one more. A classic one.
कैसे एक मकान चुपके से घर बन जाता है, क्यों उस घर का दरवाजा हरदम खुला नजर आता है, क्यों पड़ोसी अपने घर से ज्यादा इस घर में नजर आते हैं, कभी दाल कभी चीनी कभी दालचीनी मांगने आ जाते हैं, पोस्टमैन भी सिर्फ नाम देख के चिट्ठी ले आता है, एग्जाम से पहले बच्चों के बेस्ट फ्रेंड्स पढ़ने यहीं क्यों आते हैं, रोटियां यहां पर कभी गिन के क्यों नहीं बनती, क्यों होली खेलने पूरा मोहल्ला यहीं पर जुटता है, क्यों दिवाली का पहला पटाखा यहीं से छुटता है, क्यों क्रिकेट में हारते हारते यहां इंडिया जीत जाता है, कैसे एक घर सबकी जिंदगी में रंग लाता है, हर घर चुपचाप से ये कहता है कि अंदर इसमें कौन रहता है, एशियन पेंट्स.
Beautiful ideology. The emotion that took in, the behavioral aspect that took in is when you shift to a new house, be it a rented or be it owned, what you do is you make that home your home. You color those walls, give them your color, give them your identity, something that resonates with you, and then you start decorating. With that insight, how many things got attached to this thing, these small aspects of behavior, human behavior. Beautiful. This still at till this point, I like this campaign of Asian Paints. Har Ghar Kuch Kehta Hai. They did a lot of different versions of this. Beautiful campaign. Now, I would like to conclude the case studies with that poses, with one that possess an intriguing question. The question about paradoxes. A very, very, very cruel thing, I would say. Let's watch the question.
Don't buy this jacket. Their words, not mine. On Black Friday 2011, Patagonia ran a full-page ad in the New York Times with a strong call to action. Don't buy their stuff. Through this unabashed anti-consumerist sentiment, the advertisement revealed a recent trend within the outdoor apparel industry of cultivating a more environmentally friendly and morally grounded image. A trend which Patagonia, an apparel company born in the mountains in the 1970s, seems to be spearheading. However, the environmentalist messages of Patagonia and its outdoor apparel kin reveal a paradox intrinsic to ecologically conscious corporations. More product sales means more growth for the company, but increasing sales also means an increase in physical waste and emissions from creating, packaging, and shipping products. Essentially, the outdoor industry's success means a decline in the very nature that its customers seek to experience and that companies claim to protect. I want to dig into this paradox with Patagonia as an example. By positioning itself as anti-consumerist and pro-environment, Patagonia managed to increase its revenue by 40% just 2 years after running that ad. So let's go back to Patagonia's Don't Buy This Jacket ad to understand exactly how the company crafts its eco-conscious message. The full-page ad is simple yet effective in delineating Patagonia's core principles, along with the bold "Don't buy this jacket" text that separates the ad from other pleas for consumption. The paragraphs below provide a real argument for forgoing the purchase of outdoor gear. Patagonia claims the R2 jacket's journey from its origin as 60% recycled polyester to their Reno warehouse generated nearly 20 pounds of carbon dioxide, 24 times the weight of its finished product. The ad then goes on to say that the jacket comes with an environmental cost higher than its price, as well as, "Don't buy what you don't need, think twice before you buy anything." More recently, Patagonia rolled out its Worn Wear campaign. Centered around embracing old, repaired clothes, Patagonia frames ripped up jackets as apparel with stories. The campaign is multifaceted. A Worn Wear biodiesel truck tours the country repairing Patagonia enthusiasts' clothes, while videos reveal funny and emotional stories about 25-year-old board shorts that have been sewn and resewn countless times. Patagonia boasts the largest apparel repair facility in North America, with 45 employees, and the company's CEO argues that repairing clothes is a radical environmental act. Throughout the marketing campaign and the company's culture as a whole, Patagonia seems to be committed to the durable and the long-lasting, encouraging its customers to forgo purchases and embrace the old. In its mission statement, ads, and Worn Wear campaign, Patagonia firmly positions itself as anti-consumerist and pro-environment. However, as many customers have pointed out online, there's a certain hypocrisy buried in this style of branding. Its marketing campaigns certainly don't make the company an environmental savior. It still capitalizes on the worn-in aesthetic with $29 Wes Anderson-esque repair kits and brings in $600 million in revenue annually. Patagonia brands itself as anti-consumerist with ads, yet as a for-profit company, its very existence is reliant on consumption. Despite this contradiction that belies the company, at its core, Patagonia still runs an environmentally progressive business, a model that other outdoor apparel companies can and should learn from, but also one that customers should understand. Anti-consumerist ads and pro-environment campaigns from for-profit companies can sometimes err on the side of greenwashing, so it's important that customers understand both the advantages and limitations of this kind of corporate activism. While Patagonia's efforts to use recycled materials in their clothing is admirable and necessary, it doesn't mean that you should go ahead and buy 10 R2 jackets you'll probably never use. How then do we navigate an industry where the very jacket we buy is harming the environments we want to use it for? There is no silver bullet solution. It involves both thoughtful choices on the company's side as well as the consumers. Patagonia has positioned itself in the right direction in terms of environmental ethics, donating 100% of its $10 million revenue from Black Friday in 2016 to grassroots charities, or by simply accepting and repairing decades-old gear. The onus also falls on us, the consumers. But right now, as people who still need shoes to climb rocks or packs to camp under the stars, we should keep in mind that clothes and gear have a life before and after we buy them. So buy slow, buy smart, or sometimes just don't buy at all.
Wow. Did you got the idea they wanted to share here? कुछ ऐसा जो आपको पूछना हो? Patagonia came with this idea of non-consumer approaching ad. They made a paradox and they shone forth in the market heavily. The idea where you don't sell, but you aware people. They lingered on the idea to the very core of their values, which was to save the environment. And they asked people, don't buy this jacket. Aware people ran another campaign to help people wear the clothes that might have been worn out. They repair and they wear. And this is the paradox I was talking about. I want to ask, what is your purpose? Think about it. What is your purpose? You might not want to go to the therapist after you discover the purpose. It can change. It can change with phases of your life. But asking what is the purpose is the main question. When you ask 4 5 times the same question, what is the purpose? What is the purpose? What is the purpose? You'll not have any other way but to give out the core answer that you have hidden in your mind. That is where I want to end this session. Find out what is your purpose.
As a content writer?
As Pari in teenager,
Okay.
it can be as content writer as well. It can be Pari as a teenager as well.
Okay.
Find your purpose. That's important. And this purpose is not about profits. Remember the bullseye, trek to bullseye. This purpose is above the profits. The monetary profit, of course. I assume this was a great session for you guys and you do not have anything that you want to ask yet.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So let's say good night and we shall meet in our next session. Bye bye. Good night. If you have
Bye.
bye. If you want to ask anything, you can just text me or in the next session get it on with.
Okay, sir.
Bye.